Welcome to the Love on the Go podcast, brought to you by Carolina's Matchmaker. I'm Laurie, and for over 17 years, I've been helping singles find the relationship of their dreams all over the Carolinas. Along the journey, I've met so many amazing professionals and experts from various fields, and I'm excited to introduce them to you. What's my goal? I want to help you look at love and relationships in a new way and to grow in your understanding of how love works. Let's learn together how people have overcome personal obstacles and have found love, first and foremost with themselves. The ultimate goal is realizing that you are worthy and deserving of love. Let's get started. Okay, I'm here with Erika Ettin, and she's talking to me about her new apartment. Erika and I go way back. We've known each other for a very long time. She runs an awesome company called A Little Nudge, as opposed to Nudge, which she can, right?
I might be a nudge depending on what day of the week it is, but my company is A Little Nudge.
Do you remember I asked you that the first time I met
I know you did.
Which is it? I don't know how many people do that, but anyway, I was like, is it nudge or is it nudge? She's
depending on what my mother says. No,
that's
anyway.
right. So she runs a consulting company that helps people navigate the world of online dating, which I do too. Mm-hmm. And we have collaborated together with many, many things. And so I thought, like, why not get our two brains together and talk about how we work with people with online dating. She also wrote a book called Love at First Sight, and she is the co-host of a dating podcast called So We Met Online, which is now defunct, but all of it is still online. I think you did like 100 episodes.
Yeah, we stopped at 100 episodes. Yeah. It was the right ending point.
It was brilliant. And I used to, I remember I would like walk, especially during the pandemic, I would walk my neighborhood and listen to you. When I couldn't reach you by phone, I would listen to you. And then I would text you, I'm listening to you.
That's the sweetest thing.
I know. And then, so I love that you went to Cornell and you got your MBA from Georgetown. So originally you were an economist.
Yep.
Studying to be that. And then you switched gears. So tell me how that happened.
Well, I don't know about your family, but I was taught in my family, you do the marketable thing. You do the thing that society tells you to do. And my parents didn't grow up with anything. So, their philosophy, understandably, is work hard and get a job that is secure. Mm-hmm. And so that was my mindset. So I studied economics and I got a job at Fannie Mae after college in DC, mortgage finance stuff. And I got my MBA at night while I was at Fannie Mae. I mean, partially because I like business and partially because, if I'm being totally honest, they were contributing a little to it. So It made sense. I never thought I was going to start a business. I know I went to business school, but I was the one person in class who never even, I didn't even pay attention in entrepreneurship class because I'm like, whatever. And then separate and apart from that, I started a spreadsheet of my own online dating experience. Initially, you'll like this. So I did JDate. So JDate started and came out in 1997, which is
that's
crazy.
Jewish dating for people that
Jewish
don't know.
Dating, correct. Yep. And I started doing it in 2001. This is well before online dating was a thing. And initially I started the spreadsheet so I didn't accidentally write to the same person twice, because at the time you had to use a username, right? Like a clever username. And I still remember some of the ones on JDate. One was, some of these are really corny. One was Dr. Schnoz, which I found hilarious. One was, a little dirty, but funny, hung like a mezuzah. I still remember. Anyway, you don't want to write to that guy twice. So then I started tracking things in there. Like if I made little tweaks here and there, did my response rate go up? Did more people reply to me? How about my conversion rate? Meaning if somebody replied, did we go on a date? And I made little improvements. And then my friends started asking me for help. Like, what are you doing? Write my profile. So I started helping them and I loved it. So on the one hand, I was pretty unsatisfied in cubicle life. And on the other hand, I was really loving helping friends with online dating. So almost 12 years ago, I quit my job and started A Little Nudge.
I love that. And what can you tell us about online dating? Like you were talking about conversion. What is kind of like a trick for conversion?
Good question. So I would say every message you send on a dating site should have a purpose, just like okay, I took stand-up comedy class. I'm not that good for what it's worth, but
She
everything you
is.
say, everything you say in a comedy routine, every word has to serve a purpose. And I'm not saying it has to be that detailed, but when you're writing messages online, each message should get you one step closer to a date. So as much as it's nice to chit chat and like learn a little about someone, that learning should be targeted to getting you to a date. So maybe at some point you say, "Oh, well, I just moved here. Are there places in my area I should try?" And then the
Mhm.
person tells you one. And then you say, maybe we should try that together. So you see, every message is leading closer and closer to the date. So you don't
Mhm.
just have idle chit chat.
Right. And that's what normally happens is people go back and forth
Ugh,
and then they
yeah.
exchange phone numbers and then it just drops
I don't
off.
allow clients to exchange phone numbers before a date is planned.
Yeah.
And so I only allow exchanging phone numbers after a date is planned, but one day
Hmm.
before the date for contingencies. And they
Hmm.
actually use the words, "In case you need to reach me tomorrow, my number
Right.
is," because I don't want it to be, "So you can text me incessantly all day."
Right. Like, hey, what's
What's
up?
up? Good
Yeah.
morning. Good night. How's it going?
Hope you had a good day.
Oh my God. I can't think of anything more. Who's time for that?
Right. There's a sense of
Except if you texted me
urgency.
that, I would have time for it.
We would send a selfie. Um, and that's what it is. And I learned this from you years ago. And that's what I do with my own clients
Great.
is
Good.
because it creates a sense of urgency
Correct.
when you stay on the app. Once you get off, then it falls away.
Yep.
So I think that's really smart. You and I, we've collaborated together last week, even, or 2 weeks ago. I had you go on a practice date with
Oh,
one of my
yes, that's true.
clients.
Hmm.
Let's talk about that.
We do that. We do mock dates sometimes
Yeah.
because
Yep.
there's only so much you can learn in working with someone,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not on a date with our clients. And
Mm-mm.
it's funny because I don't know, I assume this happens to you too, where like maybe a client will be doing something on our call or they'll be wearing something and you'll say, I mean, I say like, "Oh, make sure when you're dating, you whatever, fill in the blank, that's the opposite of what they're currently doing." And they're like,
Right.
"Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm not on it." And it's like, but the best proxy I have for how you date is how you show up for a meeting with me.
Right. Exactly.
So, so yeah, so we did a mock date,
Yep.
which look, it's never going to be perfect because the client knows it's a mock date,
Right.
but I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. I never talked to you after you watched the
Yeah.
Zoom, but
Yeah.
essentially we had a Zoom date where I would interrupt sometimes
Mm-hmm.
and give the client feedback. It was a guy on
Mm-hmm.
what he was doing right, what he could make improvements on.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a regular conversation, just like we would on a date.
Mm-hmm.
And then we debriefed after. And even if one thing resonates, it was worth it.
Totally.
I want to
So
hear your thoughts.
yeah, and he went on another date. So I want to talk to you about it.
Oh, goody.
One of the things you talked about was back pocket topics. Talk about
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. So, like you said, sometimes he couldn't think of things to talk about. So, we brainstormed on three, I called them back pocket topics or
Mhm.
conversations, three of those that he could have where he doesn't have to think about it. So, I think one was travel, one was dogs, I think, and I can't remember the other.
Restaurants.
Restaurants, yeah, because he
Yep.
really wants to try new restaurants.
Yep.
And so it's like if there is an awkward silence and you must come up with something new, go in your back pocket because you now have three ideas.
Yes. Yeah. And it helps as a matchmaking client and also with online dating, grab a couple of the items that they put on their profile, and those are
Hmm.
your back pocket items, right?
Hmm.
And
That
so when you
pocket's getting pretty full.
it's getting full, so now you just need to remember. maybe,
Exactly.
maybe like we were in grade school, we would put like right down in our hands
I,
the
you
cheat
know,
sheet.
you're gonna laugh. I
Right.
haven't sung in a long time because COVID and whatever, but I for a while I was singing the national anthem at
Mhm.
random sporting events, and my
Mhm.
biggest fear in the world is forgetting the words.
Yeah.
Obviously I know the words,
Yeah.
but I used to write the keywords on my hand. Luckily I know, oh, the keywords, that's funny because Francis Scott Key.
She's
Oh
a
my
pun.
God, I'm killing
We have
myself.
to talk about your puns sometime too.
That was
Yes,
amazing.
that was
Anyway,
good.
but yes, writing it on your hand because it's
Hmm.
hard in the moment to remember things.
Hmm. It really is. So,
Keywords.
oh my
Sorry.
God. No, it's fine. It's just dating. It's hard. You've been on a lot of dates. Let's talk about that. What are the best dates that you've been on in terms of location? And like, how do you know when it's going really well? Or how do you know when it's worth going on a second date, even when the attraction isn't there or the sparks aren't there?
I always recommend for a first date. I always say you can always add dinner, but you can't take it back. So something short that can be extended. Maybe that's a coffee, maybe that's a drink, maybe that's a walk, where at a natural breaking point, if it's not a match, you can go, but you can always extend it. I always like at a wine bar, for example, there's generally food. So if you sit in the bar area or like a cafe, like do you have tate there?
No.
It's I think it started in Israel actually. It's this
Okay.
like cafe, but they have really good food
Okay.
and I think drinks, but mostly coffee. And it
Okay.
kind of satisfies everything. And so that
Nice.
way, you could start at a place like that. And then if you're enjoying each other, you stay there and you order some food or share a croissant or whatever. Um, I would say if you're not sure, go on a second date because what do you have to lose? Another hour out of your life? I think most of us hopefully plan to live a while longer. So I hate the mindset of wasting time. Like, is meeting a new person a waste of time? I don't think so.
Agree.
And so, yeah, that's my advice there. In terms of like better and worse places, obviously you want to be able to have a conversation. I wouldn't go anywhere too loud on the first date. In terms of sitting, try to sit catty corner or next to each other. So it's really hard to have a conversation, at least an intimate conversation across like one of those really big two top tables. I feel like one, you're yelling, and two, your table neighbors can hear everything you're
Hate
saying.
that.
I remember many years ago, I was on a date at a coffee shop near me, and it was a first date. And this lady at the table next to us literally swiveled her chair so she could listen to us. And so I am not an angel. Sometimes I play tricks on people. So if I know somebody is actively eavesdropping, I always bring up hemorrhoids because you just want to see the person's face. Anyway.
Oh god. That's great.
TMI.
So do your homework. Make sure that you're not sitting if you're going to a restaurant.
Can't
Maybe
help it all the
sit at the
time.
bar sometimes
Yeah,
if
you
it's a
can't always
restaurant bar.
control it, but given the choice,
Yeah.
try.
Yeah. I've been sending a lot of dates to breweries lately because it's
breweries
fun,
are great.
right? We've got so many in the Carolinas. That's like our
great.
thing down here. Yeah, we've got a lot of open spaces, not like DC. I mean, I know you guys have it, or you're in New York now, actually.
I'm in New
Never
York now.
mind.
Yeah.
God, you're so cosmopolitan.
Oh my God, right?
Yes, I'm gonna come and stay with you when
I'm in
come up to
Brooklyn.
New York. Yeah, I love Brooklyn. Okay, I
love it. Anyway,
that's happening. That's
okay,
happening.
done. Sold.
Yep. So, and we're gonna go see Funny Girl.
It's so good.
It's happening.
Yes, I'm the
Okay,
type of
good.
person who sees the show twice or more if I love it, which my family thinks I'm crazy. They're like, I can't believe you would see something twice. I'm like, I saw Avenue Q 6 times. If I love
I've
it,
seen
I
Wicked
want to see
3
it.
times.
Me too.
I
3
love
times.
Wicked and Les Mis. Okay. All right.
Okay,
Back to this.
My
So
bad.
no, it's me. Okay. And so what do you here's something, I sell matchmaking and online dating to my clients. And I love my online dating program. And sometimes people come to me and say, oh no, I've been online before. It doesn't work for me. And I say, well, this is a completely new and different way. But and I say, you can't throw away the baby with the bathwater. What is your opinion on online dating and how people should look at it in a different way than they are? How can we course correct?
So I rolled my eyes when you said that people say, I tried online dating, it doesn't work, or I tried it and I hate it. And I always push a little when somebody says that. Well, what have you done? And usually the answer is like, well, I put up a profile one day in 5 minutes and no one wrote to me. And it's like, I could pay for the gym and never set foot in there. And yeah, it won't work. I won't reach my health goals if I don't do anything. And so you have to you have to put your best foot forward, which is difficult sometimes when you're writing about yourself. That's why Laurie exists. And two, you have to put the time in. Like, let's say you're searching for a new job. You put together your resume. Maybe you hire someone to help you with your resume. Maybe you hire a headhunter to help you find potential jobs. And then you go on some interviews. That's the equivalent of a date. Now, let's say you're not getting interviews. Well, you probably want to update your resume. Whereas if you're not getting dates, why doesn't anyone think, oh, I should update my online dating profile? And then let's say you're not getting the jobs. You don't say, oh, guess working's not for me. So why are people so quick to jump to online dating's not? No, it is for you. It's for anyone. But there are best practices. For example, I recommend 5 pictures, except Hint requires 6. People put an obsessive number of pictures on a lot of the sites. And it's like, we don't need to see the details of your trip to Florence. In fact, I don't want to. I don't know why I chose that.
It's like an online album.
Yeah, no one needs. Here's what people want to see: the person showing up on the date. That's it. Notice I didn't say anything else. Full stop. You know, they don't want to see Mount Rushmore. They don't want to see 12 pictures of your cat. They don't want to see all of your buddies who are more attractive than you are. They just want to see
you looked like 10 years ago.
Oh my God, for crying out loud.
That's what they really don't want to see.
They don't want to see your baby picture.
Recent photo and full length if you got it, and make it happen if you don't.
That's it. The person in your picture has to show up on the date. So funny analogy. So I do a little acting on the side, and it's very similar with a headshot. Like if you submit a headshot, that has to be the you who shows up to the acting job. And I heard a story once of this woman who sent in her headshot. She had beautiful long hair. She got hired for a Pantene commercial. She shows up with short hair.
No.
They fired her.
Of course.
Because you have to be the same person.
Yes. Yeah,
Who does that? What kind of stupidity? Anyway.
My prayer and hope is that people change their way of thinking in that it doesn't matter what your height, your weight, your ethnicity, your religion, none of that matters with online dating. Just show up as you are right now. And there will be people that are attracted to you, period.
That is 100% true. Yep.
Right. And then you get the option. Okay, this person's attracted to me. Do they have potential? You know, are they ambitious? Are they funny? Are they dynamic? Like, what are the things that you're looking for? The right religion or the politics, whatever. It's your choice, and it puts you in the power position.
I like
That's
that.
What I love about online dating.
I totally agree. And for some reason, yes, exactly. And for some reason, people think of online dating as all or nothing. Like, I'm not doing online dating, or I'm doing. Look, you're gonna meet duds. You're going to meet duds anywhere you go. You're going to meet duds anywhere. You're going to meet amazing people anywhere. So why not use the best tool out there that sort of aggregates people?
That's right.
I mean, it would be silly. No, I used this stupid analogy yesterday that I'm going to say again, because I don't know, it made sense to me. I was hanging up a picture yesterday, and I needed a nail and a tool, right? And I'm like, I had a shoe handy, and I'm like, ugh, I got to go find the hammer. And I thought I could just shoe, but that is not efficient. And also I don't want to ruin my shoe. So I went and found the hammer and hung up my picture, but it's like, it's a tool. That's it. And when you look at the wall, it doesn't matter what I actually use to hang it, because you see the pretty picture.
Right. And when you hire a professional, and this is what I explained to somebody yesterday when I was describing my services to her, what it does is it lends support and an emotional, that deep emotional connection is assuaged. So basically, you have me or you going in, deleting, blocking people that may not be good.
We're the first line of defense. Is that what you're trying to say?
We're the first line of defense, and it relieves some of that emotional connection so that they can look at it like a tool. So that they can look at it like a platform instead of feeling rejected and feeling too emotional and feeling some kind of way. And so when you get a professional in the middle of that, it helps with clarity of mind around all of it.
We shield people from that.
We totally do. And that I had a woman the other day I was talking to, and she beautiful woman in every kind of way, inside and out. And she's like, I can't do online dating. I'm so inundated with messages, and to the point where she just shuts down.
I have a lot of clients like that.
Right. And that is my favorite thing to do, is here's what I do. I get them online.
Mhm.
And then I say, do not look at your profile for 24 hours. And then
Mhm.
it aggregates, I mean, like hundreds sometimes of people, right? And then I go in. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's like one of my, I love
Tell
helping
me.
my clients online dating. And then I get to go and look at all the dudes that are interested in her. Block, 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 delete, delete, delete. The men that I know without a doubt that aren't going to be good for
Of
her
course.
based on what she's told me.
Mhm.
And then we have a succinct list of
Mhm.
people that are possibles.
Yep.
Then I get back on a Zoom with her and we go through everyone. And she, like, I don't know exactly her type. Sometimes, like, I think she's looking for, you know, the chiseled look, and she's looking for something more basic, whatever. So we go through looks alone. And then if she's like not sure, like some, you know, sometimes you look at somebody, you're like,
Of
and
course.
that's a no.
Mhm.
Like, you just know you never kiss this person. So, but the ones that we're not sure about. And now I've already gone in and looked at all of his pictures, read every single thing. And I'm like,
Yep.
he looks decent.
Mhm.
So then we do it together. And then
Good.
if we like them, and this is on match.com, we like them back because he's already liked her.
Mhm.
Now they're in her, he's in her
Matches.
inbox and it matches. And then we go and continue to go through and do that.
I think
And
that's
then
great.
we go into the matches. And then we write letters, or we give it 24 hours to see
We
if he's
write
gonna write them.
letters.
We write letters. I am so old school. I mean, I listen to my language. We write letters. We write love notes and letters. Okay. We message them.
I'm sorry. I had to say
I'm like
something.
back in 7th grade.
That's okay.
So
I still say
funny.
book on tape.
You do?
So-
Okay, good. We write letters.
We write
I don't even
letters.
ever say that. It's so funny that I just said it. Whatever. Okay. So we write letters, and then or we give them 24 hours to write to do the initial. But a lot of times people are not online a lot.
Yeah.
And so we shouldn't, like, some women are like, well, I'm not going to start the
Oh, God.
messaging.
People
Okay,
get
let's
in their
talk
own
about
way
that.
every which way possible.
They do. It doesn't matter who starts the
It
initiates.
does not
the
matter. It's
conversation.
not some overt gesture like, oh my God, I love you. We must go out. It's like, hey, I saw you like to play tennis. Me too. I played in high school. Maybe I should pick up my racket. Do you play on a team? The end.
Yeah. It's not rocket science.
I do something similar with my coaching clients where we go through, they share their screen. I love it also.
Yes.
Because often we'll find people they would have dismissed.
Yeah.
And people are so judgy. And it's like, give it a second. Like, stop. Okay. So I had this client 2 days ago. And she talk about getting in your own way. She's a lovely person, but she looks for every reason why not to go out with someone, but not even to the point of going out. Every reason not to even send a message. And it was an interesting one. The profile was pretty basic. It was on Bumble. And he, you know, he had all the right criteria she was looking for. He was studying to get his PhD. He wants children, just like with the basic stuff, whatever. Anyway, I was excited about this guy for her. And I sent her his profile, and she writes back, ugh, he likes to talk about politics. He mentioned he's sarcastic sometimes. He's not even finished with school yet. We're in different life places. And I followed up very nicely with, you live in DC. It's a political place.
Right.
It's not like he's doing undergrad. He's getting his PhD. Like, he's on the track. And like, just all that. She was picking. And it's like, why did you just discount all of the good and find something? And who's to say he's going to lead with all of those minuscule things? It just made me angry. It made me feel frustrated, both for me, because I put a lot of work into it, and for her, because she's missing out on opportunities, because what's that expression? Like, she's not seeing the forest through the trees or something.
Yeah.
And I can only coach so much, but at a certain point, I'm talking to a brick wall. At a certain point, I just, maybe you feel this way too. I just have to say, okay,
this is her program.
I'm tired.
Right.
You know?
Right. And as matchmakers and dating coaches, we want every client that hires us to find love. And when they don't,
or find whatever they're looking for, but
whatever they're looking for, partnership, marriage, whatever it is. And when when they're blocking themselves, it's so frustrating because we can
frustrating.
see what they're doing wrong and how they're closing off to something, but we can't
Right.
always get them
No, we
across
do
the
our
finish
best,
line.
and
We do.
certain clients
Mhm.
are really open to feedback, which I don't know
Mhm.
why you wouldn't be if you hire a service like ours. Like, I don't hire my accountant to then tell him what to do,
Right.
you know, but
So true.
whatever, I don't get it. Um,
Yeah.
certain clients are really receptive, and I feel great about that, and certain
Mhm.
aren't. And it's funny, I've been doing this 12 years, and I had to take a step back from, I'll always care probably too much, but
Mhm.
sometimes I have to give in. And
Mhm.
sometimes I need to care less. If someone's
Mm.
not going to listen and I'm just
Mhm.
driving them nuts trying, it's
Mhm.
not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. And we can see things from a macro view and a
hmm
micro view, but
hmm
a lot of people are just looking at everything in the micro.
Yeah, and they're so fixated often on, look, of course you can have some non-negotiables, some deal breakers,
Mhm.
but people, I think, often fixate on the wrong things. Like, is the extra inch in height going to keep you warm at night?
Oh
You
yeah.
know, is an extra $10,000 in your salary
Mhm.
gonna make or break it? Like, honestly,
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, you're gonna add your salaries anyway. So basically you make way more than you did alone.
That's
It's a
right.
win. So it's just, I think sometimes people are like, okay, I remember once I had this client, nice guy in Texas, Jewish,
Mhm.
went
Mhm.
on a date and said it went well, blah, blah. And I said, um, okay, tell me about the date.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, she's 37. She's Jewish. She does this job. She lives in this place. She lives here. And I said, I didn't ask for her resume. Tell me about, how did you feel? Did you
Right.
laugh? Did you get along? Were you attracted to
Right.
her? Like, people look sometimes, they're
Mhm.
so, yeah, what you said, like
Yeah.
micro. And I
Micro.
studied economics too.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like, I would rather be with someone, or rather a client be with someone who makes them
Mhm.
feel good and makes them feel
Mhm.
special and laughs at their jokes, than
Mhm.
someone who, like, has the perfect dating resume.
That's right. It's funny because okay, so let's go back to my client
The
that
mock
you did the
date.
mock date with. So
Uh-huh.
I sent him out on a date the other night, and he came back. He said, she's different from what I'm used to dating
Yeah.
in just different ways. Like
Okay.
he just had this idea in his head.
No, I believe
Um,
that.
he said, and I didn't feel fireworks, he said, but I would go out with her again. We had a good time.
Good.
And I said to him, I don't know how you would feel fireworks if your nervous system is so right on fire.
Fireworks are
Like,
probably just diarrhea brewing up in there anyway. Sorry. Sorry. That was uncouth.
but it's true. It's like when you're so nervous, how do you feel fireworks? That to me would be overload. To
Well,
feel
yeah, and
fireworks
fireworks
of
are
nerves.
right. Fireworks are often just physical attraction, right?
Yeah,
Like, usually the fireworks people, oh, this is a good, usually they fizzle like a firework. Uh,
that's right.
because that's all there is.
That's all there is. So, and I spoke to her and she said, you know what? He was a nice guy, plenty to talk about. She said, I could tell he was a little nervous,
Mhm.
but he kind of calmed down and I'll go out with him again.
Good.
And so they're both kind of like, honestly, sort of on the fence about it, but they're both going to go out again. Do I think it's going to work out? Not sure. Hopefully it will, but at least they're
It's two
giving it
dates.
another
Like, yeah,
chance.
what's work out anyway? If
Yeah.
they end up having a nice time, that's
Yeah.
working out.
Yeah, to me, it was a success. He went
I
on a
agree.
date. He could remember 2 out of 3 of the pocket ideas
Hey, I'll
that you
take
all
it.
talked about. Yep. And he came out of it unscathed.
Ha, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you measure success? Because I'm sure, just like with people who call me to potentially, they'll ask, "What's your success rate?"
Hmm.
And I'm curious to know how you answer that question, because I know how I answer it.
Yeah. So with matchmaking, 4 out of 5 of the people that hire me find love either through a direct match that I make or on their own during the time we're
That's
working
a good
together or like
caveat.
up to a year.
Okay.
And I call that success because we're coaching, we're getting them out on dates, they're learning a lot. And then all of a
hmm
sudden somebody walks in and it's like, oh, that's the one. And sometimes I think, well, how was I supposed to find them that person when that's the way they were supposed to meet? So I'm going to put that under the umbrella of success for me. That's with matchmaking. And then honestly, with my online dating program, I have like a 90% success rate.
But what does that mean?
It means that in the 3 months that I work with someone, they end up in a monogamous relationship where they both have gotten offline and they are dating exclusively.
How do you measure that?
They let me know that they've both gotten offline. They're dating exclusively.
See, I'm very reluctant to give a number like that because I can only be successful at what I can control.
Yeah.
So when clients ask me, what is your success rate? I ask them, what is success?
Right.
And if they say a relationship, I say, that's all great. I want that for you, if that's what you want.
Yep.
But here's what I can control. I make sure you're putting your best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure you're being proactive at online dating, and I make sure you're going on dates with the right people.
Yeah.
Here's what is your responsibility: showing up on your dates, putting, being your best self. Here's what no one can control: if you like someone, if someone likes you, if someone's a flake, if someone's looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
And so I don't give a number, and I know that's unsatisfying for a lot of people. And now I say, look, I'll do a 3 or a 6 month plan. I tell them, rarely do I work the whole 6 months. Like usually in that time, somebody finds someone they want to try pursuing things with.
Yeah.
And if that non-answer turns people off, I don't care, because I know what is in my power and what is not.
100%. Yeah. And sometimes I say, with that guy, the mock date guy, he said, I didn't realize how much I need to work on. And
that's a good realization.
Compliment, because, here he realizes now, like he has not been in a successful relationship as of yet. We're pointing out the things that he can do to make it happen and be successful. Good. Yeah. And he's grateful for it.
Well, that's part of it too. I mean, if I make a client more confident in themselves, that to me is success too. I mean, sometimes 100%. That's more successful than, or if someone discovers a quality they're looking for in a partner that they didn't know, or if they think something's important and I help them discover it's actually not important, that's success to me too.
Oh, 100%. Yes. And honestly, with a lot of people, it's like they're dating again. They've been sitting on the couch not dating for years,
or they were married for years and don't know how to date.
And they don't know how to date.
I mean, I remember once, this was the cutest thing. Okay, this is funny. Years ago, I worked with a guy, I think probably early 40s. He ended up getting married to someone I set him up with from OkCupid. I get so annoyed because they never tell me. And then a year later, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, thanks. You're welcome. Anyway, he referred his mother to me. And so it was the first mother-son. And I said to her, I said, look, I can't guarantee the same kind of results that I had with your son. So anyway, she was a hoot. I loved working with her. And I still remember, I could picture the guy I set her up with. And I called her the next day to see how the date went. And she was like, oh, it was good. And she was being weirdly coy. And she is not a coy lady. So I was like, something's up. Anyway, the next time we talked, she goes, I was a little embarrassed. And I'm like, why? She goes, I quote, and she's in her mid 60s. I quote, she goes, we screwed each other's brains out. And I got to tell you, that's one of my favorite stories, because that is success.
Totally.
I mean, she probably hadn't had sex in 40 years, so.
Oh my God. That is brilliant. That's brilliant.
With anyone else besides her former spouse. So
those are my favorite clients to work with.
Oh my God. She was so funny.
I've had so many women in their 60s hire me, and they find love and they have sex, the best sex of their lives,
because the kids are out of the house
and they're so excited and they're so happy. And I mean, if anything, that is complete success. But
I know. And
it's great. Isn't it awesome? Those that people in their 60s and 70s can find love sometimes even better than the first loves and second loves that they've had in their third chapter of life.
Absolutely. I had an 82-year-old client, and he ended up going out with this 85-year-old client. So 85-year-old woman, 82-year-old got in love.
In love.
Yeah. The funniest, I shouldn't say this. Never mind. The funniest part was it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Oh, all right. Just say it. Come
I know
on.
more about their sex life than I should.
Oh God, yes.
Never mind. That's all. Apparently he took some shots, and I guess I don't know how these shots work, but I guess like there's a certain time frame in which you need to do your thing. Like have sex after you take the shots, maybe, I don't know. And she was getting frustrated with him because she would like show up at his house for dinner and he'd be like, all right, let's go, I took the shot 20 minutes, you know.
Oh my God. I once had a guy in his 70s or 80s explaining to me the penis pump.
Oh wait,
I didn't know anything about this. I still don't.
Our mutual client told me about it.
Oh God, I don't.
Yes,
yeah.
I know more about his nether regions than I wish I did.
Oh
but
God.
also, I love when clients feel comfortable sharing that.
Yeah.
You know, he's engaged.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I mean, that was a miracle.
You know, I patted myself on both shoulders.
Yeah, you should.
I did.
that was a miracle. He was looking for something so specific, and I was working with him matchmaking. Then I said, let's switch to online dating. And then Erika and I worked together, and he found somebody. They moved in together very quickly, and he
has the family he always wanted. He never had kids, and 100%. Perfect.
No, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful what we can create. We could talk all day. I know. I will bring you back on the show in the future.
I would love that.
But we'll end for now. Erika, how can people find you?
Well, you can go to alittle-nudge.com. You can go to basically anything. Instagram.
I love your Instagram.
Thank you. I love my Instagram too. It's examples, often not good, of what people do online, and then advice on how not to do that.
Yes.
And so it's funny, it's cringy, it's everything you want it to be.
Yeah, it's really good. So check that out at a little nudge.
Yeah, and then random
Instagram.
Pictures thrown in of my dog.
Yep. Of your dog.
And then other than that, I always offer a free 20-minute consultation if you're thinking about hiring an online dating coach. And Laurie, I love collaborating with you, and I love being your friend. And that's it.
I love it. I love being your friend too. And do you have a favorite charity? I always like to post people's favorite charities.
What a wonderful thing.
Or
I would say where I got my dog, Lucky Dog Animal Rescue.
Nice.
I am always in support of dog rescue. That's how I got my Scruffy. And so I would be honored if someone decided to donate to them. They're DC based, just local, just a really good organization.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on Love on the Go, and I will speak to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Love on the Go. I hope you join us on our next episode. You can make sure to know when it is by following us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed it, it'd be great if you left us a review. I'd appreciate it. In the meantime, to learn more about me and how my team can help you, visit carolinasmatchmaker.com. Until next time.